Hi, everybody, and welcome inside the DCU Center in downtown Worcester. It's great to have you with us for another Pirates game on NESN. I'm John Perel, joined by former indoor quarterback J.J. Ratterink and Mick Monninghoff. Good to see you guys. And this is a game that's intriguing from a couple standpoints. The Pirates coming off a tough decision last week, a game that many thought they should have won, but they turned the ball over way too often. And J.J., we'll start with you first. The quarterback, Darren Thomas, filling in for the injured Sean Brackett. He threw 5 interceptions. What does he have to do tonight against Lehigh Valley to make sure that doesn't happen?
Well, I think Darren Thomas has a special skill set, and people saw that at the University of Oregon. And talking to the coaching staff, they kind of tailored it a little bit more to him, especially when you're not the starter. You don't get as many reps, so you're not expected to be thrust in, especially a hostile environment like Jacksonville, to play fantastic. But certainly the way he did was not something that he was expecting. So I think a full week of practice, maybe tailoring the offense towards him and getting to the friendly confines of home is just going to be beneficial for him.
Well, it's good that they're back here, Mick, and they can stay here tonight. The implications, what are they for the playoff picture?
Well, real simple. The Pirates win the game tonight. They will be the 2nd seed. They will host a playoff game next week. Now, they can still be the overall number 1 seed, provided that Maine knocks off Jacksonville and the Pirates win tonight. There's a couple other scenarios. We'll take a look at them. And the Pirates would be the 2nd seed if they lose and Columbus wins their game. They'd still be a 2nd seed, have a home playoff game. The worst that could happen, the Pirates lose, Carolina wins, Jacksonville loses, and there wouldn't be any home playoff game. But that's the 3rd and final scenario for a 3rd seed. So real simple, win and host a playoff game next week.
All right, JJ and I have digested that. There will be a quiz later.
Absolutely.
Good?
One more time. If I can get the cliff notes, that'd be great.
We're all flummoxed, but we'll work it out for you. Pirates football against Lehigh Valley. It's all coming up next on NESN.
Massachusetts Pirates football is brought to you by these fine sponsors.
Hey, Pirates fans.
You want to watch the most electrifying,
the baddest football in town? Get your tickets at masspiratefootball.com or at the DCU Center box office.
Arr!
Are you plagued with pain? Feel uncomfortable doing normal everyday things? At Inbalance Chiropractic and Wellness, we strive to keep you in optimal health. Through the use of chiropractic care, massage therapy, and lifestyle therapy, our focus is on improving individual lives to become more active and vibrant. Your health is our #1 concern. We practice to help you reach your goals. Our specialty is keeping your body in balance.
You've dreamed and planned. Now you're ready to buy that home, to earn that degree, to take that trip, to build your business, to enjoy your golden years. And Cornerstone Bank will help you get there. We've built a strong foundation for your success. Let's build your future together. Cornerstone Bank, built on trust.
It's getting close to playoff time. We're going to need all hands on deck. Shipmates, we need your support to come see me, Marty Gilliard, and the rest of my Pirate family chase this ring, baby, and bring another title back to Title Town.
And welcome back to the DCU Center. Good to have you with us on NESN and listening on 98.9 Nash Icon. Spencer Hoteling will kick it off from the goal line for Lehigh Valley. As they won the toss, they elected to defer. So that means the Pirates will get the ball first on offense. Pirates have beaten the Steelhawks 3 times thus far. It's a sky kick, deadened inside the 15 and taken on the run to the 17-yard line by Khalid Wooten. That'll be a first down for the Pirates. And one thing, gentlemen, we've seen out of this Pirates offense all year, high productivity, JJ, and 6 yards of play. They've scored 811 points in their 15 games. They're 10-5, and they've done a lot of it through the year with 82 passing touchdowns. But their quarterback isn't here, Sean Brackett. He's injured.
I think we're going to see a variation of arena football tonight and the offense and the offensive approach. Darren Thomas has played in the arena leagues. He's got some experience. But again, his skill set is a little bit maybe more athletic. He can get out and run a little bit. So I think we're going to see a few wrinkles, a few changes, and already him being in the shotgun is something you don't often see.
Thomas Claiborne is his center with a man in motion. Here comes a pump fake by Thomas over on the far side wall. It's taken up past the 25 to the 24. Well done by Levon Pearson, who's been a good target this year, Mick, with 77 grabs. That's a first down for the Pirates. He's also scored 19 touchdowns.
Yeah, he has really had some nice games against Lehigh Valley as well. The best one when he had 7 catches for 82 yards and 2 scores. Second meeting they had this season.
So a first down for the Pirates, trying to clinch that home first-round playoff game next week. And a rifle shot past the 15 to the 10 by Pearson and close to the goal line. Well done again. Quick hit to Levon Pearson out of Tennessee. And that's what you were calling for out of Darren Thomas, JJ. Quick passes. Last week he was getting rid of the ball in 3 or 4 seconds. That can't happen.
No, he's got to get rid of it quickly, and they're doing a nice job here. I think Coach Payton is the offensive coordinator calling plays that are going to force him to do that. The one thing that I want to watch for as this game goes on, you saw it there, that was a tight window, which again in the arena game there's many, but when you're in the shotgun there, does it time up as well? That one they were able to fit in, and hopefully they can get in the rhythm as the game goes.
The give goes to Deshaun Johnson, the fullback, and he's in for a score. The Pirates are on the board. It took him just 2 minutes and 8 seconds. Look at Johnson rolling all the way over to the far side and giving a souvenir to a fan. That's a good touch by Deshaun Johnson, who has his 6th touchdown of the year, and 6'4", 300 out of William Patterson.
You know, I think you may see a little more of fullbacks getting carries tonight between Deshaun Johnson. Also, you're going to see some Cornelius Lewis running from fullback tonight as well. Take a little pressure off of the quarterback.
Well, the Steelhawks defense has been a sieve. We'll get into that in a moment. Ali Mortada for the extra point. And this one is good. Mortada now 68 out of 100 on extra points as the Pirates grab the 7-0 lead thanks to the 1-yard score by Deshaun Johnson. But the Steelhawks defense, JJ, you have to feel for this team. They're 0-14. The average score with the Pirates this year has been 62-31, and there's just way too many holes on that side of the ball.
When I'm talking to Coach Bardo, he said our defense has actually played well in a lot of the games, but unfortunately we've just been playing from behind so much. We've had to take some chances. Guys jump on double moves. They get beat deep, and so obviously there's going to be a lot more points. But he said it's really unfortunate because we have some talented players. With the injuries and everything else, we just haven't been able to put it together, and that's why you see an 0-14, which is unfortunate because these guys are too talented to not have a win all season.
Yeah, you know, there's been signs, there's been glimpses that they're trying to put it together. You go back, Mick, to June 30th when they played Jacksonville at home. It was 34-31. They lost the game, but at least they were in it.
They had a chance to tie that game with a field goal in the final seconds that got blocked. You wonder what would have transpired in Lehigh Valley if they maybe would have won that game. A little renewed interest, a little more passion, but unfortunately it just didn't go their way, and it's been a struggle ever since.
Yeah, it's been a nightmare as Ali Mortada will tee it up for the Pirates, and Charles McLean, arguably their best player, waiting a couple yards deep in the end zone. And this is a line drive kick, fielded inside the 10. And good coverage by the Pirates. Returned by Rodney Hall, a defensive back, as the stop was made by Lamont Bryant, a receiver for Massachusetts. We'll get our first look at the Steelhawks quarterback, an unenviable task, taking on a sturdy Pirates defense, which loves to sack the quarterback, as they have the most sacks in the league, and Patrick Ryan gets the call out of West Virginia State. He's only 6 feet, JJ, and he's not very experienced.
No, this is going to be a tough task for him, certainly, but it'll be the definition of baptism by fire. It'll be good for him. He's going against one of the better defenses. Like you mentioned, he's got Charles McLean. He has some weapons on offense. If he can get himself in a rhythm early, he can maybe settle down and get the flow for the rest of the game.
And McLean will be the man in motion. Ryan, ball gets batted away. Big mitts put up by the defensive line. J.D. Griggs got it. Griggs 6'5", 244. He's been consistent for the Pirates defense. Head coach Amir Ismail. And he's loved the experience here. I talked to him earlier this week. He said Got nothing to complain about. The team has certainly shown that they are going to be a championship contender.
For Griggs, that's his 6th pass that he's deflected this year. That's not bad.
So on 2nd down, Ryan throws it incomplete to the near side. Off the hands of his intended receiver, Savion Brown. And that was a bit of an awkward throw, JJ. And from what you've seen early from Ryan, it looks like he might have a hitch in his motion.
He's got a little bit of a hitch. I haven't seen a clean snap. I know it's only been 2, but he seems to pull away just a little bit slow from the center. That's going to throw the timing off. But this game is just so fast that you don't realize you can one-step those and how quickly you have to get it out, even on a short hitch to the wall there.
Malik Brewer is his center. He's 6'3", 315. McLean in motion. On 3rd down and 10, scampers and just flips it to a fan. They take the souvenir and go home with it, and it's 4th down. So this frenetic defensive pressure that Massachusetts can provide is playing an early role, Mick.
Well, we thought that was going to be one of the keys, but as you mentioned, 51 sacks against that offense for Lehigh Valley. When you realize that they've had trouble on the offensive line, you kind of ratchet it up and just go after them.
Pirates defense gives up 4.7 yards per play. They've also been a bunch of ball hawks as Spencer Hoteling will attempt the field goal on 4th and 10 as they'll spot it at the 7-yard line.
This will act more of as a punt, if anything, for Lehigh Valley.
And waiting deep for Mass is Wooten, and this one is wide left. So will be taken over by the Pirates as they lead 7-0. So Darren Thomas with his 2nd possession. 6'3" quarterback from the University of Oregon. Played in the Rose Bowl there. Short drop going deep. He's got Pearson, and he drops it at the 11. Good touch by Thomas, and Pearson could not bring it down.
Great touch, great anticipation. You've got to trust on a go route like that your guy can run underneath it. And Thomas, out of the shotgun, hasn't had an issue with the timing. Puts the ball right there. Pearson just looked like he maybe wasn't sure where the wall was. I think the arms looked a little bit short. I don't think he was worried about a defender coming over, but he wasn't sure if he was going to run into the wall there. But got to make those plays, especially with your quarterback early on who doesn't have as much experience in this offense.
Lenroy Naismith was trailing in coverage. So 2nd and 10 from the 5 for the Pirates. Marty Gilliard's in motion. They hand it off to Deshaun Johnson, and he rumbles past the 10 to the 12. Johnson scored moments ago. As Johnson has those nifty feet. He's nimble.
Yeah, I had the luxury of playing with him in the China Arena Football League, and that was kind of a hidden gem for us when we found out how elusive you can be. Or can you be elusive at 300 pounds? I don't think you're hiding from too many people. But he was able to move and very athletic for his size.
You can block out the sun at 300 pounds.
This is true.
3rd down and 4. Thomas, another short drop, lofts it wide open. Bryant can't bring it down. Boy, 2 ones that you'd love to have back on this drive. That was a little far in front of Lamont Bryant, but he would have been running all the way to downtown Shrewsbury if he brought it down.
This would have been a tough one for sure. You see here as he comes in the high motion, he's got to try and jam. He gets off the jam here, tries to avoid it, and then just trying to get back on track. I'm not sure. I think he was thinking there was going to be some sort of help from the field side corner, and so maybe his arms on that one were just a little bit short there, but pretty good touch pass by Darren Thomas.
So Mortada to attempt the field goal. A 50-yard attempt for Ali Mortada, who's made 7 out of 16. From left to right, Mortada wide left, no good. So another punt-like attempt by Mortada. As the NAL playoffs crank up next weekend. Ryan, drop into the end zone, rips it, and it's caught with one hand by McLean. Past the 20 towards midfield. He's brought down at the 24. Athletic catch by Charles McLean. as he was stopped by Keontae Northington, arguably the best defensive back in the league, leads the league with 11 interceptions, but there's your guy, Charles McClain, coming up big, JJ.
Well, and this is what they're going to have to do. They've got a young quarterback. They're going to have to make some plays for him, borderline spectacular, and that one really was. Not only did he one-hand that, but Northington was right underneath that throw. Good spot by Ryan, but a great catch by McClain.
So first down for the Steelhawks. Ryan takes a deeper drop this time. This one's wobbly and incomplete. Over the Pirates bench. Too much air under the pass. And it will be 2nd and 10 from the 24 of the Steelhawks.
That looked like a timing pattern that was out of time. And it just thrown too soon and too far into the corner.
That was like one of those ones that you saw in the movie Wedding Crashers when they went duck hunting.
Yeah, not the football scene.
No, not the football scene. That's the movie that just keeps on giving.
Oh, always can be referenced.
There you go.
Ryan with a deep drop, chased out of the pocket, he throws it out of bounds. More pressure applied up front by J.D. Griggs, who's had himself a first quarter. Griggs with 7 sacks, 7 tackles for loss, and he's just bursting around the edge, JJ.
Yeah, and this is what Lehigh Valley really didn't want. They didn't want to have Patrick Ryan face this defensive line when they were really feeling good like J.D. Griggs is and the rest of the line. So they're going to have to figure out a way to eliminate that pressure for him. As you see, they just tried to run hitches and not a chance for Ryan. The one thing he's done a nice job of, if he's been in trouble tonight, he's just thrown it away and hasn't taken a sack.
And he wants a timeout because they're not on the same page. Offensively, Charles McClain said take a timeout as he was going to be the man in motion. 4:14 remaining in the first quarter. And the Pirates lead Lehigh Valley 7-0. Back to pass on 3rd and 10. Dump off to the fullback at the 25. He's going nowhere. Good read as Tulasha made the catch. He's out of UMass at 6'2", 263. A burly fullback. Tackled by Kalen Burnett, defensive lineman. He was all over him, JJ, on the dump off by Patrick Ryan. We're going to see Spencer Hotailing again, trying another field goal.
Well, and I think what Coach Ishmael is going to have to tell the defense is to be ready for some of those gadget plays, the dump offs to the tight end or the fullback, those easier throws for Patrick Ryan. They're going to try and do anything to slow down that rush and get him into some sort of comfort zone.
39-yard attempt for a Hotailing from right to left. Charles McClain will hold. High snap, kick is down, it's blocked. Ball loose and scooped up at the 24-yard line. Recovered by Lehigh Valley, but the Pirates are getting the football. As it was blocked, a dicey exchange again as we take another look.
A good job by McClain getting this down. A little bit of a high snap, but I believe that that's Bill Vavau.
Yep, it is.
Who got that big paw up there. And Bill Vavau actually had a exciting thing happen today. Had a workout for the NFL, and so hopefully he'll get an opportunity, and plays like that will certainly help. But for Lehigh Valley, they have just got to get something positive going here. The catch by McClain was something that got him off to a start, but good job by the Pirates defense stymieing him from there.
So Pirates football inside midfield at the 24. Thomas from the shotgun, fires, caught, past the 15, Gilliard to the 10, far side 5, and he's in the end zone. Marty Gilliard with a touchdown, and the Pirates lead 13-0.
What a move by Gilliard as he made that catch around the 12-yard line, started right, and then just made a cut to the left and outran 3 defenders to that left corner of the end zone.
He left a vapor trail behind him. 6'1", 191-pounder from the University of Cincinnati, former draft pick of the then St. Louis Rams. That's his 19th touchdown of the season through the air. He also has 3 on the ground. Mortada from Assumption College just down the road. No good. And it's 13-0 still with 1:47 remaining Mortada, 68 out of 101 with the placements. But the good news is it looks like Darren Thomas is quickly developing more confidence under center.
And that short little shotgun they've run, I've been impressed with the timing. I mean, again, that was just a simple 3-step from under center hitch route. He was able to catch, hit the receiver, Marty Gilliard, right as he turned out of his break. And those types of plays are going to be things that they're going to need to do as receivers, make the catches, make some catch and runs, really get Darren in a rhythm.
Talk about rhythm. 3 for 5 in his first 2 possessions. That's not bad. And then you figure that Pearson had one go off his hands. The other pass down the middle, just a little too far ahead. Could have almost a perfect first quarter for your quarterback here in the for the Pirates.
Think about what Sean Brackett, the usual starter quarterback, has done. 2,130 yards, 74 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns on the ground. I think they'll get him back next week. He had a leg injury suffered last week at Jacksonville, but the more confidence Thomas gets, this team will be much better for it. High kick by Mortada for a deuce, and he's got it. Now in the NAL, if you kick the ball through the upright from the kickoff, it is 2 points. And that's Mortada's 16th deuce of the year. He's Mr. Deuce. So the Pirates lead 15-0.
Well, we talked to Coach Amir Ishmael before the game, and as we take one more look here at Marty Gilliard making a great catch and run, really helping his quarterback and get the offense going. But Coach Ishmael said, you know, even last week they were down by 9 points with 45 seconds, but he said that's still one possession to me because of the opportunity to score with the deuce. And as a kicker, you miss an extra point, you don't have to wait for another touchdown or a field goal opportunity. You can go make up for it right there on the kickoff.
Certainly a momentum lift for the Pirates. Ryan, a short drop, dumps it off to the near side board at the 7-yard line. Catch was made by Jason Johnson. And Pirates all over it, reading it well. And those developing plays are going to be basically what Ryan's going to rely upon a lot, JJ. But when you're down 15-0 in the first quarter, you need some chunk plays to get back in it.
They're going to have to do that at some point. And one of the things that we saw early on the first drive was knowing he's going to throw short and a lot of 3-step hitches, see the defensive line get their hands up and really make those throws even tough.
McClain in motion, screen, and ball loose, and a flag down is intended for Johnson out of the backfield. That was a erratic play for the Steelhawks.
Personal foul, hands to the face, 75 on the defense. It's a 10-yard penalty.
B.J.
Automatic
McBride,
first
hands
down.
to the face for the Pirates. Automatic first down going the other way.
It's the last thing you need to get a team back in the game.
Yeah, you've got all this positive momentum. You've had a couple of good offensive drives. You get the deuce on the kick there. Giving a struggling offense any sort of real estate like this and maybe get them into the flow is really something you're trying to avoid.
Clock continues to run towards the end of the first quarter. 12 seconds left as the Steelhawks pick up the first down thanks to the personal foul penalty. It looks like they're going to break the huddle and head towards the sideline and drain the clock. As there's your buzzer. So at the end of one at the DCU Center, the Mass Pirates trying to go to 11-5 in their final regular season game and clinch a first round home playoff game next Saturday night. Off to a good start, leading the winless Steelhawks 15-0. You're watching the Mass Pirates on NESN and listening on 98.9 Nash Icon.
Hey, Pirates fans.
You want to watch the most electrifying,
The baddest football in town. Get your tickets at masspiratefootball.com or at the DCU Center box office.
Arr!
Thirsty is a state of mind, a passion. Thirsty is taking the lead, a will to challenge the world. But first, challenge yourself. Defy your will. Defy your thirst. V1.
It's getting close to playoff time. We're gonna need all hands on deck. Shipmates, we need your support to come see me, Marty Gilliard, and the rest of my Pirate family chase this ring, baby, and bring another title back to Title Town.
And welcome back for the start of the second quarter as the Pirates lead 15-0. Trying to air it out deep is Patrick Ryan, incomplete with Northington in coverage. Now for the play-by-play, let's throw it over to Mick Moninghoff.
All right, thank you very much, John Metaporel. Just underway here in the second, and the Pirates looking to ratchet it up on defense once again. And right now in the booth, joined by Chris Siegfried. He is the commissioner of the NAL. Thanks for joining us.
Pleasure to be here.
We'll ask Chris about the playoffs coming up right after this play. 2nd and 10. Football at the 15-yard line for Patrick Ryan. Sends Brown in motion. He's going to tuck it under and take off and get up to about the 18-yard line before the Pirates swarm him. So a short gain up to the 18 gain of 3 for the quarterback. Well, Mr. Commissioner, playoffs just around the corner. It's an exciting time of the year, no doubt.
It's absolutely exciting. The NAL in our second year, it's growing perfectly. Massachusetts put a great product on the field, and if they win tonight, they could do no worse than second seed, so they'll have a home playoff game in all likelihood.
Looking at second down here, rather third down, I beg your pardon, and 7 to go. Call it the 18-yard line. Savion Brown in motion all the way on the right. Quick check down to the far side. That's complete to Johnson. And he swarmed just at the 21-yard line as Pirates do a nice job of wrapping them up with Sam Montgomery.
Now, it's a little background for folks. It's really hard for me to sit here and say Chris or Mr. Siegfried because this is Coach Siegfried to me. He actually was the very first coach who signed me into the Arena Leagues 13 years ago.
Long time ago.
So I'm still getting adjusted to that. But what do you think as far as the future? Maybe after this play, tell us where you kind of feel like the NAL might be headed.
4th and 5, incomplete. No flag on the play. Good coverage by Khalid Wooden. And it's a turnover on down. The Pirates will have it 1st and 10.
So yes, JJ and I have some history. Great football player and loved watching his career throughout the years. As far as the NAL is concerned, we've made some great strides from year 1 to 2017 to this year. We have 6 really solid ownership groups and teams, and we're looking to continue that trend and hopefully add 2 or 3 more teams next year. We're in talks with a number of cities. It's very exciting. We're really growing at the proper pace. We're not trying to just add teams to add teams. We want to add the right ownership groups in the right markets. And this Worcester, Mass market has been incredible. They've put a great product on the field.
1st and 10, 21-yard line for the Pirates for Darren Thomas. Sends Pearson in motion, high snap from the shotgun. He's got Pearson complete at the 10-yard line, breaking a tackle down to the 5. It'll be 1st and goal as Hall wraps up Pearson, but not before he's got the first down.
Great catch there by Pearson. My former coach would have said we're not going to send the receivers over the middle high like that, but good timing by Thomas, good catch there. And, you know, Coach Siegfried, Mr. Siegfried, I'll still get used to that. You mentioned that this Worcester area, and the crowds have increased every game, and the energy has really increased every game here. People really seem to be gravitating towards this team and this game, which has really been what the goal of the NAL is, I believe.
And they've got a first-class arena. The DCU Center is absolutely awesome.
Quick toss to Johnson, taking players with him inside the 5 down to about the 3-yard line for Deshaun Johnson.
That's a big fullback, JJ.
That is a real big fullback, and that's a nice weapon to have when he can move like that.
And I know you would have been very comfortable playing quarterback with that kind of fullback protecting you.
When you've got that kind of protection, you've also got the ability to hand him the ball like that.
Absolutely.
You know.
And basically, when he wants the ball, you basically give it to him.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of like when he wants your dessert at the pregame meal, you're going to give it to you're going to give him that as well.
Massachusetts has got some outstanding athletes. They are, you know, it's one of those, what you say, it's a good-looking football team. Big receivers, athletic. big guys on offense and defensive line, they really are a very complete football team.
Johnson's the fullback on 2nd and goal. The 2-3 wides go to the far side, and here's just a quick toss, and into the end zone for the touchdown goes Bryant.
That's a smart football play, JJ.
Very, very smart. Coach Payton there knows that you're limited there unless you're going to run the ball. So what you do is you go trips into the boundary. You make sure that if you have any sort of safety out leverage there, you're just asking 2 guys to make a block. Really not a very difficult throw for Darren Thomas, and you see there's no one over him. Makes it real easy just to catch and to fall into the end zone.
Here's the kick by Ali Mortada. It is good. We have 9 minutes and 33 seconds to play here in our first half. The Pirates now lead it by a score of 22-0. Going to ask your feelings about the deuce as Ali Mortada tries for one here. He had one the last time. This one is wide. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line.
Well, I think it's a great part of our game. You know, if you kick it through the uprights on the kickoffs, it's worth 2 points. It's a deuce. It's a risk reward. He missed it, so the offense gets the ball on the 20-yard line. Now, if you're in a championship game and you've got the 2 best offenses in the league, that's a huge risk. You know, when you're in a situation with Massachusetts right now, they're up 22-0, it's really not a risk. They've locked in playoffs, and they're just fighting for a number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you get into a championship game, you have to think, do I want to give this other team great offense the field position of the 20-yard line versus that 2 points?
I'm going to prepare you for the next question because we mentioned it. Bill Vaval actually had an NFL workout today, but I want you to be prepared to maybe talk about, tell the fans the legitimacy of some of the players that are playing in the league.
McLean's going to be in high motion. Patrick Ryan sends him on the near side. Here's a quick toss. It's behind the receiver. They say it was a forward pass, and they rule it incomplete. We have seen a lot of talent this year.
There's been a large number of players get opportunities in the NFL and CFL just in our 2 years of existence. The CFL has been a little bit more of a direct pipeline for us at this point in time, but these guys are playing for an opportunity to get to the highest level of football, the NFL, where they can make huge amounts of money.
Well, I mentioned it was a forward pass, and it was ruled that way on the field, but we just saw the challenge flag come out from head coach Amir Ishmael.
That it was a
he told me
pass.
he wasn't going to throw many flags tonight, but he just can't help himself.
No, it's tough. Just like he said, it's hard to turn that switch on and off, and certainly not during a game.
They say it was a forward pass, incomplete, 3rd and 10, 20-yard line. Here comes McLean in motion again, and the pocket crumbling and going down as the quarterback. And the sack for R.J. Roberts. That'll be his 5th and a half sack this season.
Well, we can't ask for too many predictions, but give us an idea of what you think is going to happen in the playoffs. If we see R.J. Roberts, nice job coming back inside, get the sack on Ryan. But from the 4 teams entering the playoffs, what do you kind of expect to see out of that?
Well, it's tough because, you know, it depends on Brackett. You know, Massachusetts pick, it would be a lock if Brackett's in there. You know, he's just a great quarterback, so who knows what's going to happen. And, of course, Columbus, another great offense, their quarterback is hurt as well. It really, truly is anybody's game. And all 4 playoff teams are glad that Maine didn't qualify.
Yeah, because they're the hottest team maybe in the league right now. Here is a 4th down play, ball tipped, and it falls into the hands of Sivion Brown, who makes the catch. It went off of the hands of McLean. It was up for grabs, and Brown makes the catch across the 25 to the 23, and he is still going to be a little shy of a first down. Well, now they're going to move this.
It's a great play by Savion Brown. He's a natural DB playing offense for the first time.
Yeah.
So he just did the tip drill there.
Very heads up. And actually, a lot of people don't know. I think that was Coach Siegfried's first play he taught me was we're going to throw the hitch, we're going to get it tipped, and we go to the outside there. Certainly not planned, but I think you brought up a good point. There's a lot of parity in the league, and so really, in going into the playoffs, and the way we're seeing Darren Thomas play tonight, it really is up to any of those 4 teams.
This is great for Darren Thomas to get this experience tonight because we don't know what's going to happen with Sean Brackett. You know, we all want to see players on the field. We want to see all the guys get their opportunity. Darren Thomas, you know, it's a great game for him to get some rhythm. But as far as the other playoff teams, Jacksonville, Columbus, and Carolina, tomorrow is a huge game in Maine between Jacksonville and Maine. If Jacksonville wins, they lock in number 1 seed because they've got tiebreaker against Mass. But if they lose, they could drop to 3. So nothing has been decided.
I love seeing that. I think it shows how competitive this league is. and where this league is going here, as you touched on, for the future.
Talusha ran for the first down, so it's up 1st and 10, 18-yard line. McLean in motion once again. He'll be on the left, and now the handoff goes to Talusha, puts his head down, tries to turn around the corner. They had Whalen out front trying to clear a path, but good coverage by Sam Montgomery to shut that play down. Only about a yard gain.
Yeah, we're starting to see, and I think, you know, I'll put the coaching hat back on you. You've got a young quarterback. Has Coach Bardo done some of the things you would expect? Some of the short passing game involved the running back?
Definitely. He's trying to keep it simple. He's trying to slow the game down for him. But as you can see, and the fans at home, if they're watching, can see that he doesn't have a lot of time to throw the ball. No. And that guy is a quick player for Lehigh Valley, and he's just getting absolutely swarmed by the Massachusetts Pirates defense.
Pirates lead it 22-0. 5:06 to play in the first half on 2nd and 9. Here's a quick toss. It's going to be picked off at the 3-yard line. That's Northington with his 12th interception of the season, bringing it back across the 15, still going, and he'll be down at the 19-yard line. Another interception for the league leader, Keontae Northington.
You know, Northington's such a special player. What a fantastic defensive back for our league.
And he's done exactly like they're taught there. He undercuts the sail route there by Charles McLean and did a nice job of hanging onto the ball. There was quite a few hands trying to poke it in there at the end.
Thomas back on offense again. Sends Pearson in motion, looks his way, goes now to Gilliard, who makes a nice catch at the 15-yard line, and Hall Jr. ran him right into the rails, but he hangs on for the first down. Nice catch.
Great catch by Gilliard, former receiver. You know how tough this is. Almost like an outdoor cover 2 hole shot, as they say. And when you've got that safety coming over there, to have the wherewithal to hang on to the ball, awfully impressive. I want to ask you, after this play, a little bit of a twist here on the offense, what you think of the shotgun formation that Darren Thomas is in tonight.
Pearson's going to go in motion once again on the far side. Here's a quick out to Gilliard, makes the catch at the 15, forward to about the 13-yard line before he's finally brought down by Lamas.
You know, great question. Traditionally in arena football, I'm not a big fan of the shotgun. However, looking at your player, played at Oregon, who's always in the shotgun, they're putting him in a comfortable situation to keep his eyes down the field, and it's going to be whatever's most beneficial to the quarterback, in this case, shotgun. He gets rid of the ball so quickly in his shotgun, that's not typical for shotgun quarterback.
2nd and 7, he's looking now to the far side, has a man open, one-handed catch for a touchdown, and that is Pearson. No, they're going to call him out of bounds at the 2.
I think we may see another challenge.
I think you will, because no one touched him. He made a great,
incredible catch.
One-hand leaping catch, did Pearson, and then he falls into the end zone. I think they're going to change the call.
Let's see if we can see it from this angle.
I got the commissioner here. What do you think, boss?
I'm watching it on replay with you guys. So.
Well, they just signaled touchdown. That's a catch, and nobody touched him.
Yeah, that's a touchdown.
He's in.
That's a pretty clean touchdown. And
pretty easy one.
You know, we talked about it. These were the types of throws, especially out of the shotgun. I'm seeing that Darren Thomas really isn't taking a drop, so he's got his feet set the whole time. You mentioned the quick release, but something that we didn't really see from him last week in Jacksonville was trusting that touch pass, trusting getting it over the jack linebacker in a short window here. So he's been a lot more impressive on those throws to me tonight, and it's good to see that.
The shotgun works for him. It definitely works for him.
Mortada trying to make it 29-0. Here's his kick. It's on the way. It's good, and that is the score. 29-0 Pirates with 2:04 to play here in the half.
And what good coaches do is they put their players in positions to succeed. And that's what Massachusetts is doing.
And we talked about that. We said what they're going to need to do to get Darren Thomas comfortable is tailor the offense as much as you can in a week to his skill set and what he does well. And you mentioned it. He's used to taking the ball from the shotgun and getting rid of it quickly. I was a little concerned when we found out they were going to do that about the timing on some of the routes. Is would they undercut hitches? Would he be off by a half a second, which in this game can actually cost you? He's done a nice job tonight of making sure that it's timed out very well on all throws.
So I think he looks great, and it's good to get him in a rhythm. It's good for the receivers to get used to a quarterback in the shotgun, the timing of the motions. Again, you know, we got high motion, forward motion. You got to time that snap up. All these things are a lot easier when you're under center.
Absolutely, and that's what I was concerned about. Like you said, I think the thing that he's done besides having clean shotgun snaps, is he hasn't taken that drop. He's just got himself to that position, and he's not really giving the defensive ends, like you said, a better angle to get there. So even though this was a bit of a question going into if this would work or not, it really has gone nicely for them at this point.
Mortada low line drive kick picked up at the goal line by McLean. McLean's at the 15, spins, Northington has him. Forward progress stopped right at the 15-yard line.
Well, McLean's been he's an electric receiver and certainly has the potential to be, so if they can try and get him the ball a few different ways, that could really help him moving forward.
Get him the ball quick. All right, get him the ball fast because he's extremely quick.
He can skate under, yeah.
Absolutely. Reminds me of Mike Washington.
Oh, yeah, Mike Washington, great.
The joystick.
Yeah,
his nickname was the joystick.
Yep.
Now,
because watching him play was like watching a video game.
Was that a self-given name?
He played for me in Pittsburgh in 2011, and the guys were just commenting. It's like they kept saying it's like watching a video game. He was so quick, and the team, I guess, collectively gave him that name.
Well-deserved one too.
First and 10, 15-yard line. That ball is on the ground. It is recovered by the Pirates. Who else? The linebacker. Nick Haig comes up with his third fumble recovery of the season, and the Pirates take over with 1:18 to play in the half.
Really not that surprising that you've got all this pressure coming there. We've seen a couple, we mentioned it earlier, where the snap doesn't seem to be clean. Ryan's got so much going through his mind. He's trying to time up the high motion, man.
First and 10, 15-yard line for the Pirates. Once again, Thomas sends Gilliard in motion, this time on the left side. A slow snap back in the shotgun, takes the three-step drop, now throws off the hands of the intended receiver, Bryant. Incomplete. Good coverage by Rodney Hall Jr.
It definitely helps, so talking to the coaches, and when they're asking for this and that, and it's like, come on, guys, be realistic. This is the way it is. And they're like, well, they can't say, well, you never coached, you don't know what it's like. Actually, I do.
Yeah, I think you can bridge that gap for sure in some of the communication and everything between the owners and the coaches.
So after the incomplete pass, second and 10, 15-yard line, 56 seconds on the clock. Gilliard in motion on the left again. Thomas retreats briefly, now throws, and it is Bryant who makes the catch at about the 9-yard line before he's pushed out of bounds. My question to the commissioner, Chris Siegfried, is just this. What's the one thing you want to see different? Maybe what's the one thing you'd like to implement going forward in the NAL?
I honestly have that. I have the answer. I just don't want to give it on air.
Okay. But I had to ask.
Absolutely. But you have to, what I would say is something that goes back to the old school game.
I think I know where you're going with
that'll be the thing that I would like to see implemented the most.
Handoff here goes to Cornelius Lewis, who's the fullback, and he rumbles across the 5-yard line.
I'm not going to say it, but I know definitely where he's headed there.
Well,
and I think
this game to me, it used to have an unbelievable like a cult type following. I don't know if that's proper to even say that, but I remember going to games back in the early 90s where there was 25,000 fans at a game where players would have to do multiple things, if you know what I mean.
If there was one thing that made the game unique from the get-go, that was certainly it.
Ooh, here is a pass that falls right out of the hands of the quarterback, Thomas. It is picked up by Christopher Robinson and recovered, and I think it's going to be ruled a fumble. It is. It happened to Thomas last week where the ball went forward. It turned into an interception. This time, it fell out of his hands before it went forward, and they call it a fumble.
Unfortunate for them there. That would have been a great opportunity, not the 29-0. Isn't a good lead, but we've learned that no lead really is safe. But that would have been a great capper to the end of the half. And we don't want to harp too much on that negative play there, but something positive for Lehigh Valley going into halftime. And folks, if you're listening, what the Commissioner Chris Siegfried just said, that is a great cliffhanger to keep watching in the future if something like that is reinstated to the game.
I know where you're going to, but I won't say a word. Back to throw. Goes to Quinn. This one's blocked.
Well, you know, you have number 24 there, Hall Jr. He's a defensive back playing offense right now, JJ.
Oh, that's an interesting point.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of players like that tonight.
I just think it's really cool when you see guys play multiple positions. But seriously, you know, what's really awesome about our league, we've got some great ownership groups, especially here in Massachusetts with the team family. We have some nice discussions and board meetings, and I've interjected a lot of things, and you know, I don't get a vote, so I just simply put an idea out there, and they can debate it, and you know.
And having these,
sometimes they say yes, sometimes they say no.
I think the insight that you can offer is invaluable to them.
Ryan sends McLean in motion, takes a drop, now completes to Hall Jr., who makes the catch. Spins away from one tackle, be very close to a first down up to the 24-yard line.
Well, something positive for Lehigh Valley. This is good. Be interesting if, I think it looks like they're going to keep the kicker on the sideline there.
Why not?
When you're 0-14, I think you're playing with house money. So
I talked to a number of the guys for the Steelhawks. Great attitudes. They're happy to be here. So you got nothing to lose. Just go out and have fun. You know, have fun, and when you make a play, celebrate within reason.
And I've been impressed watching them even in pregame. They were excited. They were jumping around. They didn't hang their heads. So to still see that effort, regardless of what's gone on this year, has been a really positive sign for them.
I've talked to a lot of these guys from Lehigh, and they have got some great characters on their team.
Last play of the half here at the Horn. And Ryan steps up, in and out of the hands of his retentive receiver at the 8-yard line, incomplete. Louis was going for McLean. The pass knocked away by Northerington, and we have reached halftime. The Pirates.
I think Coach Ismail's got enough stuff to yell at his players for, and it's always good at halftime when you're up to have something to yell at your players about and get them motivated. And that's going to be the most difficult thing for these guys because they know they're up 29-0. They've got to stay mentally focused because as crazy as this sounds, this game's far from being over.
Absolutely.
It's the way it is.
Absolutely.
It's barely a 4-score game.
Absolutely.
Which in the outdoor game, 29-0, it could be over. I've seen a 25-point lead disappear in less than 5 minutes of a game.
And that sets up our second half. Chris Siegfried, thanks for joining us. We'll take a timeout. You're watching the Pirates on NESN and listening on 98.9 Nash Outcon, 29-0 at the half with the Pirates.
Massachusetts Pirates football is brought to you by these fine sponsors.
Hey, Pirates fans.
You want to watch the most electrifying,
the baddest football in town? Get your tickets at masspiratefootball.com or at the DCU Center box office.
Arr!
You've dreamed and planned. Now you're ready to buy that home, to earn that degree, to take that trip, to build your business, to enjoy your golden years. And Cornerstone Bank will help you get there. We've built a strong foundation for your success. Let's build your future together. Cornerstone Bank, built on trust.
Thirsty is a state of mind, a passion. Thirsty is taking the lead, a will to challenge the world. But first, challenge yourself. Defy your will. Defy your thirst. V1.
It's getting close to playoff time. We're gonna need all hands on deck. Shipmates, we need your support to come see me, Marty Gilliard, and the rest of my Pirate family chase this ring, baby, and bring another title back to Title Town.
And welcome back to the DCU Center as halftime continues on NESN with J.J. Raderick and Mick Moneyhoff. I'm Johnny DeParell. Terrific first half for the Pirates, who look like they're on their way to securing a first-round home playoff berth. J.J., how did they get it done?
Well, Darren Thomas has been the key. A little unconventional. They went to the shotgun, but like we said in the opening, tailored to his skill set. Put him in a comfortable position. He doesn't have to go under center. He's done a nice job of getting the ball in and out and been efficient with it.
A lot of guys catching the ball, including LaVon Pearson, Mick. He has been a tough guy to stop all year.
He has been a tough guy to stop, and when you involve Pearson and Bryant and Gilliard, get the running game going as well, take a little more pressure off the quarterback, it shows that he's got time. He's been able to utilize all the receivers in his arsenal. It's been a real nice first half for Thomas, no doubt.
So it should be the same formula in the second half as they stymied and flummoxed Lehigh Valley throughout the first half. We'll come back with the second half action on NESN after this from Worcester.
Are you plagued with pain? Feel uncomfortable doing normal everyday things? At Inbalance Chiropractic and Wellness, we strive to keep you in optimal health. Through the use of chiropractic care, massage therapy, and lifestyle therapy, our focus is on improving individual lives to become more active and vibrant. Your health is our #1 concern. We practice to help you reach your goals. Our specialty is keeping your body in balance.
Thirsty is a state of mind, a passion. Thirsty is taking the lead, a will to challenge the world. But first, challenge yourself. Defy your will. Defy your thirst. V1.
Back for the start of the second half at the DCU Center. Return by Charles McLean of Lehigh Valley up to the 19-yard line as the Steelhawks could not get anything going offensively in the first half, playing with an inexperienced quarterback who, before this start, primarily a receiver, Patrick Ryan, and he couldn't get anything going at all, J.J. Raderink, as the Pirates lead 29-0. What'd they do to confuse him?
Well, right away the defensive line got pressure. As soon as you do that, any veteran quarterback is going to have issues. But they also knew that the game plan was going to be quick passes in and out. Defensive line not only got pressure, but if they were thrown to the strong side of the field, they got their hands up and made even those simple throws tough for them.
And some movement up front as the Pirates are calling for offsides against Lehigh Valley. Referee Tony Marcella.
Prior to the play, snap infraction, offense, center.
That is against the Steelhawks.
Replay first down.
And you're 0-14. When it rains, it pours, Mick.
You can't afford to make mistakes. And a lot of times JJ and I will talk about drives where you need to score. I think this is one where Lehigh Valley really needs to score. I mean, just to get some momentum, get back in the game. You don't want to start the first down play going in the wrong direction.
And Ryan looking at a defense which is one of the best in the NAL. Short drop, it's batted away, and J.D. Griggs had an industrious first half, and that's his third deflection of the game. So the nightmare continues for the Steelhawks offense. When you have J.D. Griggs and Kalen Burnett coming off the edge, it's not easy for you. Burnett getting the hands up that time, 6'4", 240 out of Nevada, 3.5 sacks, 3.5 tackles for a loss and an interception. Those two bookends, that's a pretty good way to build your defense.
Yeah, they're really making this a nightmare for Ryan, and you kind of have to feel for him, even if you're a Pirates fan. Being back there is not a comfortable situation for him.
No, for any quarterback, let alone an inexperienced one.
Absolutely.
Short drop and another deflection. Deflected again by J.D. Griggs. So Griggs and Burnett combining, they look like power forwards at 6'4" and 6'5". When you're Ryan, who's maybe 5'11", how do you see over the line?
Yeah, and that they're going to have to put him in some deep 3-step or some 5-step drops and let him throw the ball downfield, just because this defensive line is getting their hands up. They're getting in all those windows. But then on the converse side of that, if you go to 5-step, with how effective the pass rush has been, really what do you do as a play caller at this point?
Third down and 14. There's a deeper drop. He's Flushed and batted away. J.D. Griggs has another deflection.
That's the hat trick.
Hat trick. Maybe they'll start throwing the hats on the field, Nick. And I thought Patrick Ryan was going to backpedal towards Boston.
Well, I thought maybe he was. I would try and get out of here as fast as I could the way this is going.
There is a train station a mile away.
Yeah, I can't blame him for trying to get away from this situation, and certainly not this defensive line. But you see everything they're trying to do. They're trying to even get, even a simple screen is something they're having issues with. And now they're going to take a page out of the Massachusetts playbook tonight, go to the shotgun and try and buy him a little bit more time.
That has to be a better option at this point. With Charles McLean in motion for Lehigh Valley, and another rush is on. They steal it out of his hands. Are you kidding me? Touchdown Pirates. What a play by R.J. Roberts has the touchdown. A miraculous strip and score by Roberts. That's a beauty.
That was one of the more athletic things I've ever seen. All parts of this. First of all, great get off, great rush. The ability to not only strip sack here, he grabs the ball with one hand, and right at the end, the somersault. That is a big guy doing a somersault.
He stuck the landing.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure he stuck the landing. He stuck it on the back, but he did get it, and that is definitely one of the more impressive plays you'll see, certainly this season, and maybe even going into the fall. That was very, very impressive.
That's a Sports Center top 10 if there ever was one, Mick.
Oh, yeah.
Roberts with 5.5 sacks, 14-yard return. Ali Mortada for the extra point, and it's no good. That's his second miss of the night as the Pirates lead 35-0.
Here's a stat for you. 4 plays in a row where the defensive line gets its hands on the football. That's impressive.
You never see that.
That is really impressive.
It's really almost as if Massachusetts was in the offensive meetings all week for Lehigh Valley. And again, young quarterback, really isn't one who's played a lot of quarterback, but still, they seem to be on everything. I'm not sure who you put back there if they'd have success.
I think J.J. Raderink.
I may have the same Lehigh Valley gold colors on for the evening, but...
Well, we've been remiss by not saying happy birthday to you.
Oh, thank you. Really appreciate it.
He shares the same birthday, Mick, as Rocket Roger Clemens.
Wow.
I think he throws harder. Meaning you.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think J.J. throws deeper, that's for sure.
At this point in my career, I think we could take the radar out there and see.
What a list. There's got to be some other celebs on August 4th.
I'm trying to think. I mean, yesterday would have been great, Tom Brady, but I know Roger Clemens is one. I'm trying to think. Well, I guess if we're going with celebs, I guess I can throw myself in there now that I work with you guys.
Clearly.
So
I don't know
you can't
if that
go anywhere.
No.
No, you can't. No. Every coach knows them.
It's really nice when I walk into a restaurant and folks act like they don't know who I am. They just let me have dinner in peace.
Mortada going for the deuce again, and it's no good, wide right. And it'll be a touchback for Lehigh Valley, but happy birthday, big fella.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Anytime. Poor guy has to spend it with us.
Well, at least he has good car service.
I can think of a lot worse ways to spend it.
Oh, my goodness.
But the Steelhawks are 0-14 on their way to 0-15, trailing 35-0. 10:38 remaining in the third quarter. And the Pirates, if they do go on to the win, which looks pretty secure at this point, they will host a playoff game next Saturday night.
And right now, it's pretty hard to say who they would play, obviously, but if things go correctly, they would see
Carolina,
possibly
Columbus.
Carolina or Columbus would be the two.
I was thinking of worse places to spend your evening, and right now, behind center for Lehigh Valley would probably be up there with the way this Pirates defense is playing.
Receivers stacked to the near side, agreed. Fullback, Taleshu gets the call. Past the 20.
They are trying everything. A fullback coming from the slot side as a receiver in high motion, they're getting him the ball. So good job by Coach Bardo trying to mix some things up, but this has got to be something going into the playoffs. Coach Ishmael has to be very happy. There's been great coverage by his defensive backs, and we've sung the praises of that defensive line and linebacking core and what they've been able to do.
There's not many weaknesses for the Pirates defense. Nick Hague at the second level with that stout defensive line in front of him. Linebacker 47. Another carry by Teleshu, and they're better off taking it on the ground. Stop was made by Valval. Bill Valval just brought into the mix today. And an injured Lehigh Valley offensive lineman. It's Reginald White, 6'2", 295 from Kentucky Wesleyan is down with 9:16 left in the third, and the Pirates in command at 35-0.
This is something you'd certainly never, ever want to see this, but especially the insult to injury for Lehigh Valley. We talked to the commissioner, Chris Siegfried, and he said they've just been decimated by injuries throughout the season. A lot of talented players, but when you're not able to work together and really put it together, you see the result as they're headed towards the defeated season.
Yeah, it's just been a perfect storm of just issues all around for Lehigh Valley. You have to feel for their coaching staff, and I can't imagine what it's like to go to work every day, Mick, knowing that you have little chance to win the game.
It's been a challenge from what everyone tells me, and I live in the Lehigh Valley, and I've had a chance to see them play in person at the PPL Center, which is a great facility, but the attendance starts to wane. The scores start to go in the wrong direction. It really takes the wind out of your sails.
The good news is that Reginald White is up. So he is walking under his own power. So it'll be a 3rd down and 8 for the Steelhawks as they try to get out of their own way on the offensive end. And I think you just have to keep it on the ground based on the issues that Patrick Ryan has encountered.
Yeah, and I am noticing one thing, or noticed it earlier. He does have 2 gloves on. They both appear to be the same, and not sure how specific they are as being quarterback gloves. At this point, I'm not sure it could hurt to maybe try something a little bit different there.
But again, better grip.
Yeah, to see if they can get something moving differently.
Here comes the pressure. And there's a good throw. Inside the 20 to the 17, a sliding catch by Jason Johnson. He also plays defensive back, so maybe you're onto something, JJ.
Well, nice job there. He moved around, moved his feet, because again, he had a little bit of pressure there, but he was able just to slide, keep at the ready to throw the ball, and kept it low so only his receiver could get it.
Part of this nice crowd tonight at the DCU Center. Special Olympics of Massachusetts represented. Also a special hello to the Worcester Cowboys, one of the top youth teams in Massachusetts. They're here tonight in full force. And a wobbly pass, still caught though. Inside the 15 at the 14. Nice job to hang on, Jason Johnson. That was an end-over-end pass.
And I think there was some assistance to that. I think it got tipped at the line of scrimmage, but great concentration by Jason Johnson. Not only one-handed, he's got people all around him. He's got 2 Pirates and somehow able to corral that in.
Well, all things considered, the defensive backs who have played on the offensive end haven't played that poorly.
Oh, they
make some decent catches.
Pretty acclimated, don't they?
Yeah.
So it's 2nd and 6 at the Pirates 14. Dicey exchange. Fullback takes it and lowers the boom past the 10 to the 9. Also lost his helmet. That's Talusha, Matt Talusha, 6'2", 263-pounder from UMass. He looks like he can play a little bit.
Yeah, one of the positive things that we've mentioned here for Lehigh Valley is before the game on the field, during warm-ups, they were excited. They're still playing hard there. We say he lost his helmet on that run, but they haven't given up. And at this point in the season, this point in the game, to see a team kind of keep that intestinal fortitude to keep driving forward is really something they can at least take away from this.
3rd down and 3. Ryan under center. Run pass option, and he dives forward between the hash marks to the 9 as he ran into Kalen Burnett, and this will be 4th down and short. With 6:20 remaining in the third. And the Pirates leading 35-0. Thanks for watching Mass Pirates football all season long on NESN. Our producer, Russ Cannon, an outstanding crew bringing you the action. John Meadapurell alongside J.J. Radderink and Mick Monninghoff. Also thanks to our audience listening on 98.9 Nash Icon. It'll be a 4th and 2 for the Steelhawks. They give to Talusha. Dive off the right side to about the 8. I don't think he has enough. And Amir Ismail, the Pirates coach, heading the other way, saying, we held them. And they did. Good stand by the Pirates.
Well, they did defeat Columbus twice at the buzzer and then lost on the road in a close one. They were just 1-2 against Carolina. And I think Carolina may be the better of the two teams, and they will play head-to-head to decide who's going to be the 3rd and the 4th seed.
Add it all up, I think the Pirates have to be co-favorites to win the title.
Oh, I would think so. But here again, I mean, the Pirates still could be the top seed if Maine knocks off Jacksonville.
Well, especially with this defense. It's an offensive-driven game, but with as well as this defense is playing, this certainly is a formidable opponent heading into the playoffs.
So the spot, upon further review, was in favor of the Pirates with Darren Thomas in the modified shotgun, more of a pistol formation. Takes a short drop and will unleash his far side, incomplete. Intended for Lamont Bryant inside the 15. And good opportunity to go deep, JJ, to Bryant.
Yeah, and one of the things Thomas has done, nice job at least putting the ball out there. He didn't leave anything short where the defensive back could make the play. But a couple of times tonight we've seen him on those deep throws. Nice touch on the ball. Been very impressed with that.
One guy who knows a lot about a nice touch on the ball is Sean Brackett. And he joins us now in our broadcast location, the injured quarterback for the Pirates. Sean, welcome to the broadcast. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys doing? Appreciate you having me on.
We're doing great, as are the Pirates. Good throw by Thomas and Marty Gilliard inside the 15. There you go, to the 19-yard line. Picks up 11 yards and a first down. Marty Gilliard, one of the top receivers on the team. Sean, first of all, update us on your progress as you try to recover.
Yep, so ankle sprain. Nothing is broken, so happy about that. Blessed about to have those results back. So getting better day by day. I'd probably say I'm week to week, and looking forward to getting back for the playoffs.
How did the injury occur?
So we're playing Jacksonville. We're down there in Jacksonville. Obviously, they're a good team. Great atmosphere down there. Just got rolled up on a little bit. Stepped into a throw. Touchdown. Touchdown, baby.
He hung on. Good call, Sean Brackett. Good throw by Thomas to LeVon Pearson, a hat trick. His 3rd touchdown of the night. What a throw, and he used the wall effectively, didn't he?
There we go. Great pass by DT right there. And Vaughn, that's what he does, man. He goes up and makes plays for us, so he's been doing that all year. Let's see the replay here.
Yeah, this is a great job by Darren here, and they actually fell to a 2-deep look, and normally you would have said hit Marty underneath there with that, but Pearson does a nice job of diving in, losing vision on that backside corner, goes over the top there, and only a perfectly thrown ball will work there, and like you said, Darren was able to do that.
Cannot defend the perfect ball.
As Mortada will attempt the extra point. That was Brackett-esque. Plenty of touch under that.
There it is.
Ali Mortada connects, and it's 42-0 Pirates with 3:05 remaining in the third. So, Sean, the injury obviously tough to come back from, but what you've watched and seen from Darren Thomas, is he on the right path?
He's definitely on the right path. Had a great week of practice. Everyone's been rallying around him. And he's a great quarterback. You know, he's been at Oregon, one of the biggest name quarterbacks in the league, and he has the talent to do whatever he wants to do in this league. So he's been playing well, playing a lot better. And you just got to trust your reads. You got to make the right read and then get the ball in your hand. He's been doing a great job of doing that today.
Sean, you're hurt. You've been the guy all season long. You've had a great season. All of a sudden, kind of a freak injury like this. During the week, how does that change, or what have you basically told Darren to try and get him on the same path that you've had and keep this offense rolling?
Right. I mean, it's next guy up. It's always next guy up. So I've told him I'm always behind him 100%. Any questions he has as far as reading a defense, reading a coverage, going over plays, I come to every practice. I'm doing my rehab right here on the sideline.
It also helps to have the best receiving group in the league.
Absolutely.
Bones Bagante, Marty Gilliard, Devin Brown, Lamont Bryant, Levon Pearson. You guys have so many weapons you can utilize, and when you're out there, what's it like at the line of scrimmage?
I've been saying this the whole season. If we see man coverage, it should be a touchdown for us. We have those guys, wide receiver. No matter who's in motion, no matter what the play call is, if we see man coverage, I'm going to bet on the Pirates to score a touchdown. So as the year went on, a lot of teams are going to zone, trying to switch it up against us, but we've been doing a good job mixing up play calls, mixing up different things. Got a deuce.
Headed toward the upright, and it's good. Another one. A deuce by Ali Mortada, his second of the night. As the embarrassment of riches continues for the Pirates, they take a 44-0 lead. And Mortada now has 17 deuces on the season. And JJ's a big fan of the deuce. Are you a big fan?
Anytime we get points on the board, I am a major fan. Major fan. When it happens to us, don't really like that, but whenever Ali puts it through uprights, I love that.
Well, and Sean, I don't know if before the season they gave you kind of a reason for it, but anyone's familiar with the Arena Football League, there's nets. Well, to kind of give incentive to kick off like that, they implemented this rule of the deuce, so it just wouldn't be squib kicks all night long. And I think that's been a positive impact, and certainly for a coaching standpoint, changes things up.
It definitely changes things up. I mean, good play there.
Another deflection. That's the 5th deflection of the night.
Our pass rush has been killing them today. Our guys are getting home, and they're getting their hands up when they don't get home, so they're doing a good job. But going back to the deuce, I think it was Maine, I want to say, earlier in the season. We're up by 10 points with under 10 seconds to go. So I'm out there unwrapping my tape because the game's over to me. They go down, score, drop kick for 2 points, and then they hit the deuce. So I'm
10 points comes one possession.
10 points is one position. So a little bit different, a different thing than the NAL here.
Here comes more pressure. Ryan to McLean, your old teammate with Washington.
Yeah.
As the tackle's made by Nick Haig. Now, Sean, as you progress, I know you enjoy living in the Boston area. What are you doing off the field? Are you teaching still?
Teaching still, yep. So teaching PE in Waltham. Shout out to Fitzgerald Elementary School. Go Panthers.
Excellent.
So we're going to start school up in a couple of weeks. I'm also coaching at Buckingham, Brown, and Nichols in Cambridge.
Have you been to Moody Street in Waltham? What's your favorite restaurant?
Man, Moody Street is the place to be over there.
It's a good
you
spot.
got it. You got it.
Radarink would fit right in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right up your alley, JJ.
Yeah. You guys keep saying you're going to take me out in the area here.
It's his birthday today, too.
Yeah, so, I brought this suit for a reason.
Wow.
So I'm holding you guys to it.
Wow.
Sean, one of the things we were saying, Patrick Ryan, kind of an unexperienced quarterback. I've been offering my 2 cents, but kind of curious, what do you feel for him right now back there with that defensive line?
It's, as we all know, as the crowd gets up a little bit here, whenever you're, number one, he's inexperienced, never really played in the indoor game, so he's kind of has to deal with it going through the fire here, and especially with our guys on defense, their ears are pinned back and they're trying to get home every single time. So a little bit recipe for disaster for the offense, and they got 0 points on the board, as you can see, but it's tough, man. It's tough. He's only been there for a couple of weeks now, so as far as getting all the offensive plays down, the calls down, and then when you play against a great defense like that we have, it's tough. So I feel for him.
Try to go deep to Savion Brown, incomplete. It was a bad snap off the turf, a one-hopper, and turnover on downs. Great field position for the Pirates as they lead 44-0 as we approach the end of the third quarter. Sean Brackett, great to see you. Thanks for joining us. Good luck with the rehab, and hopefully see you back on the field soon.
Yes, sir. Thanks, guys, for having me.
We'd love to see you back out there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Sean Brackett, quarterback for the Pirates. That ends the third quarter. Pirates 44 and the Steelhawks nothing. We're back for the fourth after this. You're watching the Mass Pirates on NESN and listening on 98.9 Nash Icon.
You've dreamed and planned. Now you're ready to buy that home, to earn that degree, to take that trip, to build your business, to enjoy your golden years. And Cornerstone Bank will help you get there. We've built a strong foundation for your success. Let's build your future together. Cornerstone Bank, built on trust.
Are you plagued with pain? Feel uncomfortable doing normal everyday things? At Inbalance Chiropractic and Wellness, we strive to keep you in optimal health. Through the use of chiropractic care, massage therapy, and lifestyle therapy, our focus is on improving individual lives to become more active and vibrant. Your health is our #1 concern. We practice to help you reach your goals. Our specialty is keeping your body in balance.
Arena football is back. The Massachusetts Pirates have kicked off their inaugural season and tickets are on sale now. Come tailgate with the Pirates and enjoy great music, great food, and fun for the entire family. Then watch all the high-scoring, hard-hitting action and meet your favorite players after the game. Home games are played at the DCU Center in Worcester. Single-game tickets start as low as $10. To get game schedules, more info, and your ticket to Summertime Pro Football, log on to masspirates.football.com today.
Start of the fourth quarter at the DCU Center. Turnover on downs for Lehigh Valley. They're having a nightmare. 0-14 season. They trail 44-0. And for the fourth quarter play-by-play, here's Mick Moninghoff.
Alrighty, thanks very much, John. Here's a pass to the end zone, and it is dropped by the fan in the first row, incomplete. So Thomas picked that guy out, but overthrew everyone. But that's okay.
I think that one was a throwaway and very wisely done. One of the things we've talked about is how Massachusetts, the defensive line, has done a great job. Their offensive line has given Darren Thomas plenty of time all evening to go through all his progressions here and get comfortable.
Another thing I'm impressed with tonight is Thomas has not really forced a throw. If he didn't have a throw, he either threw it away or just didn't bother making it.
Yeah, he's been efficient with it and done what he's needed to.
And I think that goes a long way. 2nd and goal, 9-yard line. Fourth quarter, Pirates up 44-0. Here's a pass to Gilliard to the 1, and he gets in for the touchdown. Marty Gilliard. He ran over Paris Taylor into the end zone for 6.
Again, staying in Darren's comfort zone there. Really just a nice, simple play. They get a zone coverage with 2 deep, which leaves that middle part of the field open. And as we've seen all season long, you get the ball to Marty Gilliard, he's going to do something with it. He's got 2 guys at the 2-yard line there and still able to fight his way into the end zone. That's all they've got to do moving forward, no matter who's playing quarterback for him. Just get the ball into the hands of these dynamic receivers.
So many weapons, Mick. It's just a testament to what this organization has done. Amir Ismail, Jawad Yatim, the team president, bringing in fabulous talent. Gilliard has NFL ability, clearly.
Absolutely. It's his 20th touchdown of the season. Here is the kick by Mortada. This one's on the way. It is good. We have 13 minutes to play here in our fourth quarter, and the Pirates now lead it by the score of 51-0. The Pirates have not had a shutout this season. They could be trying to pitch one here tonight.
On Roger Clemens' birthday.
And J.J. Roderick's
Oh, that's right.
birthday.
Roger Clemens has a birthday, too. I always forget that. Yeah, this is not something you're used to seeing, is the talk of a shutout in arena football.
Have you ever seen a shutout in arena football?
I know of shutouts. I've never personally seen one, but I know there have been a few, and there's always some sort of circumstance, you know, as far as injuries or something happening, which really, I guess that applies here to Lehigh Valley. They, like we mentioned, they've just been riddled with injuries throughout the season, and trying to play more of a natural receiver at quarterback against a defense like Massachusetts is not a recipe for success.
This is the ultimate playing for pride game, guys. Well, if you're Lehigh Valley.
Yeah, if
absolutely.
you looked up in Webster's, that would be definitely the definition of that.
Twice, Lehigh Valley was held under 10 points.
Oh, yeah. God, what did we do before we had that machine, huh?
I don't know.
Press a couple buttons, says Larry King. Turns on the internet.
Here is Ali
How did we
Mortada's
get
kick.
anywhere?
He's going for another long one, and this one is well wide to the right. It'll be a touchback out to the 20-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10.
Yeah, you almost are pulling for Lehigh Valley just for the effort we've seen these guys put forth, and we know what they go through. We know how hard they work, the practice, the lifting, the film, the pride that you have, and you certainly you've got to wear the record throughout the season and go on there. But if you can end on some sort of positive or high note, at least they've got that to walk away with.
You know, you haven't seen a guy give up on a play.
No.
You know, like no one's just said, I've
they're
had enough.
running hard. They're just outmanned. There's only so much you can do when you don't have the numbers.
This is true. So once again, you have Sevion Brown, who's a defensive back, along with a converted DB, and Jason Johnson as wideouts. McLean will be in motion. 12:33, 51-0 Pirates. Steelhawks trying to get on the board here in the 4th quarter. And Ryan scrambles. Here comes the rush, and he just throws it away as Griggs has been in his face all night.
Yeah, he hasn't been able to get comfortable all night. You can see it right away. As soon as he gets that snap, those feet are moving around. He's chopping. And, again, that's just really a testament to this defense and how well that defensive line has played.
And you're talking top-level FBS talent. J.D. Griggs, Akron. Sidney Montgomery, 92 for the Pirates out of LSU. Kalen Burnett from Nevada. These guys are playing big boy football.
Yeah, they played big-time college ball. And it shows.
And Lehigh Valley does not have those types of colleges on its roster.
They just don't. They're going to get guys from like Kentucky Wesleyan. Here's a pass. It is caught on a juggling catch for a 1st down. Nice hands by Sevion Brown. Who says defensive backs can't hold on to the ball?
And a much better throw by Ryan as well. Stepped into the throw, JJ, as opposed to throwing off his back foot.
Yeah, no, he really did. And they kind of had an odd route combination there where they had 2 guys kind of there, but the receiver from the outside running the slant almost acted as a shield. And you see right there, Patrick Ryan, if he gets a little bit of time, gets comfortable back there, he can step in and he's got the capability to make these throws.
Ryan's under center this time. McLean will be the man in, well, no, it's going to be Brown. Actually, the far side, Johnson, and it's a quick handoff to the fullback, straight forward, across the 15 to the 13-yard line goes to Lucia.
We talked about something positive for Lehigh Valley right there. Good throw by Ryan. Talusha's made a couple of nice runs, so, you know, they're moving the ball a little bit. Certainly, we always say these games are never over. This one is starting to teeter on that edge of probably leaning Massachusetts' way. But it is nice to see Lehigh Valley get a little bit of a positive momentum here towards the end.
How do you manage this week if you're Massachusetts going to the playoffs, playing a home game? How do you stay mentally with it in terms of getting geared up for the playoffs?
Well, I think there's going to be, well, we're going to have a...
That will help. Or maybe not.
The ball keeps rolling, and it finally goes into the end zone, and falling on the football is Johnson for a touchdown. The snap was fumbled. It then just kept rolling along. It looked like the Pirates were going to pick it up. No one got a handle on it, and finally the ball rolls all the way into the end zone where it's fallen on for 6.
I have seen a lot of playbooks in my day. I don't remember seeing that particular play ever drawn up, but Lehigh Valley will take it. And that just is, this one I'm a little bit at a loss for words. This is probably about as indicative of their season as you can imagine right here.
Challenge flag out.
But again, they didn't give up on the play, and that's always positive to see.
Tuliao had a chance at it.
Well, that was the key, because Tuliao tried to run with it before he had it.
Well, actually, it was one of his, it might have been Montgomery, who tried to reach back and actually knock the ball out of his hands. Then Roberts picked it up. He couldn't get it, and Johnson finally fell on it in the end zone.
The non-challengeable play.
Just an ugly play from the jump.
there's a challenge flag thrown by Amir Ishmael. And I think that he may be arguing that the offense helped the football along, but I don't think that's the case.
No, it was the turf.
Because two of his own players had a chance to corral it, and they couldn't come up with it.
Yeah, at that point, if you don't pick up that fumble with the opportunities the Pirates had, I think Lehigh Valley, again, given the effort that they've showcased, they deserve that touchdown.
Agreed.
Here's Hotaling's extra point. With 9 minutes to play in this one. Placement down. Here's the kick. And it is good. 7 points on the scoreboard. It's now 51-7 with a timeout here in the fourth quarter with the Pirates out front.
I think the Pirates, especially next week, the playoffs and the playoff atmosphere is just going to dictate that their level will be up there and they'll be prepared.
The one real positive, you talk about injuries, is the defense for the most part is healthy for the Pirates. Defensive secondary is in good shape. Their linebackers are healthy.
Were you guys surprised that Pascal Vacchio was not retained by the team?
I was very surprised, but you said earlier, embarrassment of riches. That's how much talent they have that they can let a player like that go to another team. And Nick, I believe he had a couple of interceptions on his debut.
He did with the Cobras against Lehigh Valley last week. As a matter of fact, in one he tried to get a little too cute and almost he tried a lateral and it rolled around and his teammates were able to fall on it, so they kept the possession. But no, he played well. He played well for the Pirates. I know Billy Back really likes him as a linebacker, and he's going to use him, there's no doubt. So who knows, maybe the Pirates will see Pascal Vecchio down the line.
Something you never want to have happen as a player who feels like, and I'm not sure, not talking to him, but when it appears they've been scoring, having them come back is something that you certainly don't want. And talking to Coach Ishmael, it's not that he wanted to let Vecchio go, it's just the numbers game that you sometimes hear about, and that's just the nature of it.
Well, the ball hit the scoreboard. It turns into a touchback, 1st and 10, 20-yard line, and they are going deep. Wide open, Pearson, touchdown! Wow! Well, you know what? When a guy's wide open, you get the ball to him.
Yeah, nothing you can do. Good job by Darren Thomas, and this kind of becomes a situation where they do need to let him work on some different throws and some different reads. This is a great play call by Coach Payton. Really just get 3 verticals, and they catch him in a zone, that 2-deep zone, and you just read the safety. He goes with the post there. The under route takes care of it, and the go route up the sideline's forgotten.
Has there ever been an easier pitch and catch? Ever?
Boy, that
wide open.
Without somebody falling down, probably not. That was, and really not even a busted coverage, just one where they caught him in the perfect situation.
I mean, he was so open, he could have caught that easily. Anywhere on the field, he would have just been coasting to the end zone.
I think any 3 of us in the booth would have probably still made that throw.
I know one guy that could, but these two,
I don't know about me.
I don't know about that.
58-7 with the extra point. Been a good night for Thomas. What, 4th touchdown pass tonight?
Well, 4th to Pearson.
4th to Pearson.
I don't know how you handle this if you're Lehigh Valley, but is there a point, JJ, you've been on some teams where there's been problems, maybe a little infighting, and you kind of look at each other, you point the fingers, especially when you're down by 51. What point do you say, guys, let's play for even more pride here?
51 is the cutoff for that. So, no, I've been really impressed with Lehigh Valley. You're exactly right. That is something that the finger pointing can happen, the dissension within the team. Certainly we're not there every day, but I haven't seen it. I certainly haven't seen it in the effort. And, again, I want to commend them for showing up and still participating as hard as they have been all season. And we've seen flashes of what they can do, and we've seen some very talented players. There's something to build on if they can just stay healthy and get some things going.
Is it another deuce? Wide right.
Yes, missed it wide right. He tried for it, did Ali Mortada. So we're moving on. 7:09 to go in a 58-7 ball game.
It's going to be a long ride back to Allentown, isn't it?
It sure is. You got your druthers, Carolina maybe, or Columbus?
I think when you get in the playoffs, especially when you've seen both teams a few times, you really don't care. It's just such a fun atmosphere, and hopefully a lot of folks can come out and enjoy it, because the playoffs, there's a buzz in the arena. It really is a culture that is one of a kind to experience.
And fans still getting reacquainted with arena football in the Worcester area. We encourage everybody to check out MassPiratesFootball.com for more information.
Well, the snap was going on past the quarterback as it looked like Ryan just wasn't ready for it.
He wasn't.
And the snap came anyway. And the Steelhawks will cover back at the 5-yard line. Wow, that was a disaster.
Yeah, he just wasn't ready. They snapped it early. Now, the last time, the fumble worked in their favor. This one, you can see he's trying to coordinate the high motion, not sure. And luckily, the high motion man hadn't gone, so Jason Johnson was there. I think he's the one that jumps on the ball at the end. And
Sidney Montgomery was probably thinking, man, did this really happen? Big number 92 in blue for the Pirates.
Well, they didn't lose the fumble. It'll be 2nd down and 25 back at the 5-yard line. And that ball looks like it was almost fumbled again, but we have a flag on the play, and might have jumped a little too soon on the defensive side of the ball, unless it's one of those snap infractions. Looks like it's against the Pirates. Well, what can go wrong
offsides on the
has
defense.
gone wrong.
5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
We're going to get 5 yards back.
Well, if you're Massachusetts right now, you just got to get out of this thing clean.
yeah, you don't want to have any injuries. You don't want to have something happen. Talk about the competitiveness. We've talked about Lehigh Valley not giving up. Same can be said for Massachusetts. I'm looking at Nick Hague. He's still arguing with the refs. He doesn't turn it on and off with the switch there.
You would expect nothing else from Nick.
Yeah, absolutely not.
He's a prototype.
There's the snap. And what a one-handed catch by Brown, but he makes it at the 4-yard line. And it was a nice tackle by Kalen Burnett to bring him down for a loss.
Seen a couple of one-handed catches tonight. And you know it's just not your night when even when you do complete a pass, it goes for negative yardage there. But they're just, Coach Bartow's just trying to get something going. The other thing you want to do is you don't want to take any chances to get anyone hurt, especially with under 5 minutes left to go.
3rd and 24 back at the 6-yard line for Patrick Ryan. McLean comes in motion. Here come the Pirates. That ball rolled back to the quarterback. He picked it up, and now the Pirates want a safety. I think the quarterback had it at the 1 and tried to get his knee down, and I think he did. And he is coming up a little gimpy.
Yeah, he took a real big shot from Nick Hague there. This was an official hit for sure.
I'll tell you what, that's a nice ground ball pickup by the quarterback, Patrick Ryan, and keeping himself out of the end zone. Look, he just gets down at the 1.
It was.
But you've never, I don't think any shortstop picked up a ground ball and seen a linebacker like Nick Hague run in there full steam like that. So unfortunate for Ryan. I hope he's okay. We had just mentioned it. You don't want to see anything happen, especially this late in the game, this late in the season.
4th and 29 at the 1. Spencer Hotaling will try, in essence, a 50, we call it 57-yard field goal.
57 and a half.
Now he's almost against the wall. He's going to get 1 step and a kick. And it will go all the way to the 11-yard line. It rolls, picked up at the 5 by Wooten, or rather Tuliao. And Tuliao keeps going. He jumps over a tackler. Did he get in? He's close to a touchdown. Now, the side judge did not signal. There was contact. He may have scraped the wall. No, they say touchdown. So that is a return of a field goal by John Hardy Tuliao. of 45 yards, and the Pirates have scored again.
Well, and those are the problem when you have when you're backed up like that, which we just saw, is that acts as a punt. You're going for a field goal, but you're really not going for a field goal. But when you have all that space there, all that field to cover, it's really tough for your guys to get down there. There's just a lot of open space, a lot of open room. Some of the Lehigh Valley players want to see Coach Bardo challenge this, so whether he actually was touched as he hit the wall and be out of bounds at about the 2-yard line.
Well, he did try to hurdle a tackler. So you think there was a little contact. The question is, did he hit the wall or not? So the football is...
I think it was the kicker.
It was. Hotailing was waiting on the near side board to try to stop Tuliao, who showed his athleticism. And it's just a litany of woes for Lehigh Valley. I don't think I've ever seen a team come up against this much adversity. You can go back to the Cleveland Browns last year and the last couple of years. I know you guys are gearing up to watch Hard Knocks this week.
There you go.
Featuring JJ's favorite quarterback, Baker Mayfield.
That'll be interesting in itself. I've got to feel like, or I've got to think that Lehigh Valley has got to have a swing with the credit, or excuse me, the karma wheel coming full circle for them here, where they're going to have something positive finally go their way. I hope there's some good things in the offseason for a lot of these guys, because really no athlete who's worked as hard as they have deserves to end the season as bad as the season has been like this.
And when you go over, that's you start to question a lot of things. But hopefully players have short memories. They can put things behind them and move on to the next challenge.
And even on top of short memories, there are things and lessons to be taken from this, and hopefully they can apply it either further in their careers or whatever professions they get into. If they get into coaching, at some point, and players are down, they can certainly empathize with them, and they know where they've been.
So Ali Mortada is in. The ruling on the field will stand. The Pirates now have a 64-7 advantage with the extra point coming with 2:04 to play. And we've seen a defensive score tonight, a special team score tonight. Here is Ali Mortada's kick. This one is good, 65-7.
And the last minute and 52 seconds can't come soon enough for the Steelhawks.
Well,
there's a point where you just have to turn the bus on and head out of town.
Yeah, you put this one behind you, and at some point you certainly can't completely remove it from your memory. So you hope that they'll get something kind of out of this season, out of this game. And for the Pirates, this is a nice way to end the season, but they know that a tougher task lays ahead next week.
Well, if you're Lehigh Valley, you maybe try to put the whole season behind you. I mean, it's
they've been close. They had a chance at home against Jacksonville. They've been there.
They lost that game by 3. They played 3 really good quarters. I think their last trip in here.
But the staggering number, guys. The last 4 games of their season, they gave up 272 points.
That is not a recipe for success. And I think, unfortunately, it's been all facets that teams have been able to score on them. Talking to Coach Bardo, he said offensively they've struggled, but they've also given the ball away deep in the red zone or had turnovers turned into touchdowns. And the defense puts them in a bad position, and then special teams has had their issues as well. So it's just kind of been all around for them.
Here is the kick by Mortada. It is long. It is going toward the upright. It is good for a deuce. And the Pirates pile it on, 67-7. So Ali Mortada, that's that 3rd deuce of the night.
And really, we talked about it. This is something where they can start to work on a few things. And I think that's why you're seeing Coach Ishmael letting Mortada do this. he can work on these in practice all you want, but to work on them in a game type situation is something that they can take advantage of.
So Lehigh Valley has 1:36 and the clock moving. Well, they take over 1st and 10 at the 5-yard line in a 67-7 ball game. Pirates will have a home game next week. I think that's the most important thing. It's the one thing we need to really focus on. I know the team was focused on it. They didn't have any other mentality than just, no matter if it's the 1st seed, the 2nd seed, we want the home playoff game. They're going to have it.
They will, and it's well-deserved.
Hey, how about this? Charles McLean goes under center, and we have a whistle.
1 minute warning.
1 minute warning.
Some adversity for the Pirates throughout the last stretch of the season, especially last week losing their quarterback, turning the ball over way too often in their game against Jacksonville, a game that they would love to have back, but it was not to be, and now a bounce-back effort. And, just as easily, guys, speaking with the Mirror's Mill this week, he said, a dangerous team is a hungry team.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
JJ, you've been on the other side. You tend to take teams easily sometimes. It's human nature. You look at the record like the rest of us and say they don't have a chance, but then they come in here and they beat you.
Yeah, and I think that's something they worried about. And talking to Amir, he had a little bit of hesitation in his voice about maybe the confidence, but the team has come out and really shown what they can do and how much talent they have. And so certainly they put that to rest pretty early.
So here we're looking at 1st and 10, ball at the 5-yard line, 1:30, or actually 1 minute on the clock. And once again, it's Charles McLean, the wide receiver under center, and Nick Haig is in the backfield, but he doesn't belong there.
Offside, defense, number 47. It's a 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
It'll be 1st and 5 at the 10.
We talked about McLean being pretty dynamic with the ball in his hands. This is a guaranteed way to try and put it in his hands, but putting him under center. And I know he's a good player. I don't know how much quarterback experience he has. My guess is I don't think we'll see the ball go in the air here, but could be surprised.
Yeah, I'm going to throw this at you, JJ, and think about this after the play. Football at times can be they talk about baseball, a game of adjustments. Football can be too, and we saw the offensive coordinators and the head coach make changes with the Pirates this week. Now there's a whistle, and a flag drops on the far side, so let's get right to that point.
Ball start, offense.
They put in
it's a 5-yard penalty.
Different offensive wrinkles for your quarterback. Put him in the shotgun. Change maybe the game plan a little bit on how you would attack things with a different quarterback, and it's been effective.
Yeah, and that's a testament to the coaching staff realizing that Darren Thomas is not Sean Brackett. So to run the traditional offense that they've had so much success with this year just didn't seem to be in his comfort zone last week in Jacksonville. So what they do, they said, what made you such a great college player? You were in the shotgun. You got the ball out quickly. That's what we're going to do, and that's the kind of plays we're going to call.
You look comfortable tonight. There's no doubt. So McLean takes the snap, sprints to his right, now cuts back to his left, and dives forward to the 2-yard line. So it'll be a loss on the play as he almost got caught for a safety.
Nick Haig, a ubiquitous presence for the Pirates, has a nose for the ball. He's one of those linebackers, JJ, that you look at him and say, wait a minute, is he reading the snap count?
Absolutely, and that's why we've seen him get caught on a few times. But the really good defensive ends, defensive linemen, will try and do that. They'll try and jump that as often as they can, which is something they'll have to work on for next week and heading into the playoffs.
It looks like they'll let the clock run out. The final score tonight, 67-7. The Pirates win over Lehigh Valley. Lehigh Valley goes 0 for the season. They're 0-15. The Pirates will win 11-5, and they will have a first-round home playoff game next week here at the DCU Center. And there is the horn. It's a final, 67-7. We'll come back and put a cap on this one Glad you've been watching us on NESN tonight and listening on 98.9 Nash Icon.
Massachusetts Pirates football is brought to you by these fine sponsors.
Hey, Pirates fans.
You want to watch the most electrifying,
the baddest football in town? Get your tickets at masspiratefootball.com or at the DCU Center box office. Arr!
Thirsty is a state of mind, a passion. Thirsty is taking the lead, a will to challenge the world. But first, challenge yourself. Defy your will. Defy your thirst. V1.
It's getting close to playoff time. We're gonna need all hands on deck. Shipmates, we need your support to come see me, Marty Gilliard, and the rest of my Pirate family chase this ring, baby, and bring another title back to Title Town.
It was a dominant performance by the Massachusetts Pirates as they secure a first-round home playoff berth. 67-7 win over the Lehigh Valley Steelhawks. Welcome back to the DCU Center, everybody. And J.J. Radenrink, there was no doubt about this one. Clearly, the better team won the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Feel bad for Lehigh Valley. They tried to do some things. They tried to mix some things up. They played hard, but really positive for Massachusetts. I thought the defense played fantastic, and the adjustments that the offense made for Darren Thomas and his skill set, really positive heading into the playoffs no matter who plays quarterback.
And Mick, this defense for Massachusetts is feisty. They're ball hawks, and they got it going too.
Not only do they have it going, but they're healthy. I think that's one of the most important things. They played 16-game schedule, won 11-5. That's great in your first season. But to be healthy on defense, going into the playoffs now with a home game next Saturday, that's important.
It's all adding up for the Pirates to make a championship game run. We'll bring it for you on NESN. For our crew from the DCU Center, Russ Ken and an outstanding staff, John Mita Perel saying goodnight for J.J. Radenrink and Mick Moddinghoff.
Hey, Pirates fans.
You want to watch the most electrifying,
the baddest football in town? Get your tickets at masspiratefootball.com or at the DCU Center box office. Arr!
Are you plagued with pain? Feel uncomfortable doing normal everyday things? At Inbalance Chiropractic and Wellness, we strive to keep you in optimal health. Through the use of chiropractic care, massage therapy, and lifestyle therapy, our focus is on improving individual lives to become more active and vibrant. Your health is our #1 concern. We practice to help you reach your goals. Our specialty is keeping your body in balance.
You've dreamed and planned. Now you're ready to buy that home, to earn that degree, to take that trip, to build your business, to enjoy your golden years. And Cornerstone Bank will help you get there. We've built a strong foundation for your success. Let's build your future together. Cornerstone Bank, built on trust.
It's getting close to playoff time. We're gonna need all hands on deck. Shipmates, we need your support to come see me, Marty Gilliard, and the rest of my Pirate family chase this ring, baby, and bring another title back to Title Town.